What's up, everyone? It's the Chinist. So today is April 18th, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. I have my haul here of 25 with 24 different titles. I have read through this stack. I should have received one more. I'm missing Death of Love. So hopefully you'll see that in a back issue here pretty soon. So starting off on the DC side, we have Action Comics number 1000. So yeah, as it says here, quite a landmark issue, man, 1,000 issues. So that is amazing. So this one was really a compilation of short stories. So there's about 9 different short stories. The last one definitely being the best, with Michael Bendis writing the short story with Jim Lee as the artist. So this is one of the square-bound type of comics. I really don't enjoy these at all because you literally have to bend the front and or back cover. So I typically read these like this, where, you know, I really don't enjoy the full artwork because of the way that I have to read it, you know, just because of my, you know, I like to keep it in mint condition. So yeah, so anyways, yeah, the compilation of short stories, different artists, as you kind of see throughout the ages. You know, the overall arcing theme, if anything, that I noticed was, you know, the public perception of who Superman was. You kind of get comments here and there, you know, but just a lot of different stories. Again, the very last one, I think, what was it called, like Time or something of that nature? Let's see. I thought that was it. So the very last story, written by The Truth, written by Michael Bendis, artwork by Jim Lee. Of course, Jim Lee is my most favorite artist of the superhero genre, man, by far for me personally. And I know just by comments, you know, a lot of y'all out there as well. So yeah, you kind of run into this guy, don't know who it is, you know, they don't really tell you. And, you know, as you read through, just kind of like a fight, and again, a lot of commentary from the humans are kind of, you know, working the background. But this one kind of finishes off and tells you to be continued in Man of Steel, which is a 6-issue weekly title coming out here, I think the end of May, I believe. So yeah, Action Comics 1000. Check it out, man. Go pick it up. Okay, next up, Super Sons. Man, so another one, if you listen to my previous videos, man, I love this title. Between these two here, the banter between the two is just, man, hilarious. Man, I love seeing these two guys just kind of like grow up, you know, in a sense. I have the first appearance of both, man, love these two guys. This one scene was absolutely hilarious, man. The way they kind of like start screwing with each other, they're really becoming, you know, best friends at this point. Just hilarious stuff. So yeah, pick it up if you enjoy these two. Man, definitely check out this title. So yeah, pretty cool action scenes that that occur here. We have what is it, Kid Amazo, I think was his name, come back in this suit. A little bit of a little twist at the very end. You know, it's not really him who they thought it was, but more the suit itself. But yeah, pretty cool stuff, and a little bit of a surprise appearance by Cyborg. So yeah, Super Sons, man, enjoy it. Okay, next up, Batman. So this kind of starts tying into the overall wedding. I think I'm going to start picking up Batman for anything wedding related going forward. So this was kind of like a little weird storyline. This is just part 1 of I don't know how many parts, but this one kind of centered around Booster Gold. You kind of see like a little future, and I'm not really sure what happened to that Green Lantern. Now it's kind of like weird. You know, they don't really explain it too much. But this is in the future, and this is like a weird type of, you know, like a future timeline that I guess we've never been exposed to before. So anyways, you know, another alternate Batman, not really alternate, but a future Batman, won't reveal who he actually is. But Booster Gold on a mission to try to find the absolute best gift for Bruce Wayne, you know, about to get married. So again, you know, not too much happens on the wedding side of things. This is really centered around Booster Gold. Kind of a weird story, to tell you the truth. You know, not really fitting to the Batman wedding theme that's kind of going on right now. So yeah, anyways, I am going to pick up anything wedding related going on. Okay, next up, Batman, the Creature of the Night. I totally forgot this title even existed. So this is number 3. Parts 1 and 2 already came out. You know, yet another square-bound type of comic. And, you know, again, as I just said, I don't really enjoy these, you know, just because I don't like creasing the cover. So, yeah, so on the note, you know, the artwork itself, you know, I would really give maybe like a 2.5. However, it does fit the storyline, and the storyline is more, it's not really a Batman storyline, it's really more of like a monster creature type of storyline, you know, almost like a horror type of storyline. So I enjoy this this one issue. Kind of gives you like the back, you know, history. You finally find out what the creature is. You know, the main character, I forgot, Bruce Wainwright is his name, but he's been trying to figure out, you know, he can't get this creature to kind of show up on demand when he wants to try to show like other psychiatrists and like other people, you know, he doesn't know if he's crazy, you know, he's just trying to like figure this out, and he finally figured out, you know, what the creature is, and yeah, pretty cool to see him, you know, he starts interacting with the creature in a different way after that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one title. Again, I totally forgot it was out there, but yeah, Batman Creature of the Night. Alright, next up, Justice League. So yeah, this is the finale of the Justice Loss. So you had Deathstroke that kind of came into play. You had Wonder Woman, who was shot. And, you know, the aftermath of all of that. The Fan is completely dead at this point in time. The Fan had been the culprit of all the previous back issues of, you know, things kind of going on. Batman being blamed for various murders and things of that nature. So this one really just ties up the overall storyline, the arc that was out there with the Red Lion. It was okay in my opinion. I think they kind of rushed it a little bit in my opinion. And, you know, so the reason why they kind of rushed through that a bit is it kind of sets up and ties up and jumps into this No Justice that's right about to come out. So you see the various teams that are going to be formed. So yeah, pretty cool concept. I like to see what, you know, kind of what goes on there. And, you know, of course, love Scott Snyder and his storytelling. So yeah, really, as well as James Tynion IV. So interested in seeing, you know, what that storyline kind of goes from here. But yeah, this is definitely an overall improvement for Justice League, but really interested in that new reboot right about to come out. Okay, next up from DC, we have Future Quest. You know, this is straight up just nostalgia, you know, just for me. I grew up with Hanna-Barbera and all these cartoons. So this one focused on the Herculoids. They're pretty much all two-part type storylines that are two-part issues. They're coming out kind of focusing on the various characters that are in the Hanna-Barbera world. But yeah, so this one issue, to start it off here, it was just okay, you know, maybe just like a 2.5 out of 5 storyline. I love the Herculoids, so, you know, I enjoyed this issue more for nostalgia than anything else. But yeah, the storyline was just a little bit lackluster in my opinion. But yeah, Future Quest. Alright, Damage. So really enjoy this character. So, you know, enjoy this character because of the human, you know, character that they kind of start building up here. I enjoyed the very first issue, you know, all the way through. I think the first one, in my opinion, what I heard, got mixed reviews. But anyways, this one kind of goes back to a little bit of history of Damage, or the main character himself. And a little bit of a great, man, there's so many ads now, but great action that kind of happens in this one here as well with Poison Ivy. So, you know, this one kind of sets up the storyline. We'll see the next one, you know, the aftermath of, you know, maybe this will happen, maybe not, but did not happen in this one issue. Okay, next up, this one was the conclusion, Batman and the TMNT Part 2. So yeah, great issue here, in my opinion. They really tied up everything pretty well, man, like great epic battle. You had the overall, you had Bane with the Foot Clan under his control, you know, using the Bane serum. So yeah, man, great fight, and this was like great, like three-way fight against Bane between Shredder, Batman, and Splinter. So yeah, awesome fight, man. They really tied this one up pretty well. If you enjoyed that first series, man, this one was even better in my opinion. So yeah, if you enjoy these two characters, check it out, man. I really enjoyed the artwork as well in this issue as well, or the overall story arc. So yeah, Batman TMNT. Okay, next up, going on to the Marvel side of things now. Amazing Spider-Man number 799. So this one, I picked up just one extra one that's kind of thrown in the spec box. So again, I normally do not pick up ASM, but man, this one story arc was great, dude. The introduction of Red Goblin, how they kind of built it up, and pretty good job in my opinion by Marvel. they really milked it, pretty well in my opinion. So you have the entire Spider family, including Miles Morales in this one as well. Man, great fight. There was I'll leave it on this 2-page splash. A little bit of a twist at the very end with the Osborn family. Kind of leave it at that. But yeah, storyline for number 800. I'll definitely be picking up a few of those. But yeah, number 800 looks to be pretty good with this little setup they have here going on at the very end. So yeah, check it out. Alright, next up from Marvel, Avengers. So this is number 15. We have just one more issue to go to tie up this No Surrender story arc. So again, I've said before, I am trying to, collect it all. I want to read it all in trade. I know this is a great storyline, kind of, here and there, kind of, keeping tabs on, what's going on without, any big spoilers. But yeah, really excited to read through this one. Now, I'm kind of tempted just to reopen up my floppies and just kind of read it all through instead of waiting for the trade that I think comes out in June, I think is what I recall from previews. But yeah, Avengers No Surrender storyline. Right, Venomized. So again, kind of been about, but the storyline by Cullen Bunn, I feel is great, man. He did a really good job of really, setting this all up, tying it all together. The crossovers that kind of happen here, it's not like a big, like Infinite Crisis type of, big crossover, but yeah, pretty good, enough characters for a big, for a crossover feel storyline, in my opinion. But again, a lot of good, exciting twists that kind of occur, time to time. You always think there's a lot of the battle kind of, sways back and forth as far as like who's winning and who's ahead. But yeah, really enjoyed so far. Venomized. Okay, next up, Infinity Countdown. So yeah, so this overall, I will be along for the entire ride, and I thought they had all the titles that involve the gems that are kind of the stones. I'm sorry, they changed it to the stones that this overall story arc is going to be covering. So this one, as I heard from the last video or the last issue that came out on this one from the comments, this was really a Guardians of the Galaxy issue, and they kind of converted it to the Infinity Countdown. But very exciting, nonetheless. And this is kind of like almost like a two-part storyline. Again, a great battle that kind of occurs. But at the end, we kind of get back to the original artwork that kind of happened. I'm sorry, the next page. The original artwork that kind of happened along following Adam Warlock in the original, I think it was Infinity Prime, I think, issue, where he actually goes back in time and he's hidden back in Egypt. So he's emerging now, and yeah, so kind of cool getting back to the original storyline, getting after the Guardians of the Galaxy, stuff. But yeah, Infinity Countdown. Alright, next up, X-Men Gold. So yeah, this title is a little bit misleading. So, this is going to start the story arc till death do us part between Colossus and Kitty Pryde. So this is not actually where he proposes to her. He's already proposed to her, like, I forgot how many issues back, but it was a while back. Pretty cool here, they kind of start setting up some of the back history of when Kitty Pryde first met Colossus. So I thought that was pretty cool, man. I enjoyed the colors that kind of went along with it, like the warm tones. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So this one issue, kind of deals around, again, with Mesmero. And man, he's a pretty cool villain, man. I didn't really realize how powerful he was. But man, great team fight between him and the X-Men team, or the X-Men Gold team, I guess, just to clarify. Again, I'm picking up all the X-Men titles that are out there right now. But yeah, great issue, and yeah, excited for the other wedding. So this is like Marvel's competition to the Batman Catwoman wedding. Okay, next up, Weapon H. So, the only thing I really wish that between Damage and Weapon H, the characters are kind of similar. I wish they were kind of, they came out in alternating weeks instead of the same week. Great storylines, for both issues nonetheless. So, in both cases, they are doing a great job, really building up this character Clay. I don't think they have they revealed his last name? I can't recall or not. But man, really building up, his who he is, you know, why he has his moral code. So yeah, so this kind of finishes off the battle with the Wendigo, and man, great battle. So Doctor Strange actually makes a guest appearance in here. Great stuff. They finally defeat the Wendigo, and pretty cool how they kind of defeat him. I'll show you a little bam. So yeah, great stuff, great battle. Enjoy this character, man. I really, you know, again, I felt that he was a gimmick character like Gwenpool in a sense, but man, they've done a really good job really building up the character of who he is. So yeah, Weapon H. Alright, Weapon X. Like another reason why they should, you know, kind of put the Weapon H at an alternate week. So Weapon H, so this one kind of is part 2 of Logan battling Sabretooth due to Logan having his birthday. So, you know, this is tradition for Sabretooth to always, you know, they completely go at it. It's not like a little skirmish. I mean, they, you know, go for the kill shot, you know, like basically the entire time. Very cool to see. They do a little future, let me see if I can get to it real quick. But Logan starts, here we go. So Logan, this is Old Man Logan, of course. He starts to explain to Sabretooth exactly like what happened to him in the future. You know, just telling him that, you know, he's kind of evil, but it's really his human that kind of keeps him sane. When he goes pure animal, like, you know, there's no reason for him to be on the earth. And, you know, Wolverine basically explains, or Old Man Logan explains, he just kind of, you know, killed him off at that point in time. So yeah, pretty cool. Enjoy this battle. I just wish the artwork was just a little bit better on this title. But yeah, man, great fighting, great slash 'em up type of action. Okay, next up, ASM, Renew Your Vows. Man, love this one again for the, you know, more for the family aspect, but for Annie, man, she is a great character. You know, like to see her, you know, growing up and learning how to adapt, you know, with her powers, and you know, the interaction between her mom and dad. It's just hilarious, man, the way that they're trying to teach her. So here, she went off with her friends who have powers, and she's caught by her parents, man. You know, the parents found out, you know, basically like kind of like sneaking out of the house, so to speak, like going to a party. But along the way, as they're, you know, reprimanding her, find out that, you know, she kind of does have a great, you know, they raise her pretty well. They, you know, she has a great moral code. So yeah, man, love this issue again. You know, really based between the interaction between the two. So yeah, ASM, Renew Your Vows. All right, next up from Image, we have Curse Words. So yeah, Charles Soule and Ryan Brown, man, great dynamic team here. Love the storytelling, you know, I love the humor, I love the action that occurs here. You know, great interaction between the various characters. I love the character development as well that he does here. So yeah, I normally do not like Magic, but man, this issue or this overall title has been a great job, man. Really enjoy it. So you have Margaret, who is held captive. Apparently there are magic users on Earth that Wizard and Ruby Stitch were unaware of. So they're kind of keeping Margaret shielded so she can't be found. So yeah, love this title, man. Really interesting storylines, you know. So yeah, really enjoy it. Curse Words. Alright, next up from Image, Infidel. So, you know, hard to find good horror stories, man. This one is, you know, panning out to be very, very good, man. So, you have basically a haunting of a house. I can't recall if it's an apartment or condo, but, so yeah, so the main character, she's finding out just through some, you know, online research that there have been multiple people who have died at this one location. And of course, in the last issue, she saw a couple of the, I think it was just one character, that one ghost that, you know, she couldn't tell if she is going crazy. Is it her medication? You know, why is she keep on seeing this face over and over? So yeah, great horror, great artwork to go along with this horror story. Man, love this title so far. So yeah, Infidel #2. Alright, from Image, Moonshine. So this is by Brian Azzarello. Man, he does a great job on these monster type of storytelling here. So this is, you know, again, back in the, let's see, this is the 20s, back in the Prohibition type of days, with a werewolf, you know, twist to it. So you have the main character, he's down in the, I think he's Louisiana, became part of the chain gang there, and you know, there is a werewolf kind of going on in this area as well, and this was kind of like the peak of what happens with that werewolf. So yeah, interesting storyline. If you like werewolves, check this one out, Moonshine. Alright, next up from Dark Horse we have Giants. So this was number 5. This was the conclusion of this story arc, and or actually of this title, I believe. Felt that this was a little bit too rushed, in my opinion. Man, great concept, great. So you have kaiju. You know, this is the future. It's a dystopian type of world. Kaiju are on the surface, and humans are living mostly below, and there are some humans living up above. You know, you have warring factions between the two, and this was like the culmination of the various, of the back issues that have occurred. You have the 2 main kaijus that they introduced, you know, fighting to the death, as well as the 2 main human characters they have introduced, you know, fighting to the death as well. So very, very interesting. You know, I thought this overall, this title was good. Pick it up and trade, you know, if you enjoy kaiju. But man, I really felt this was a little bit, you know, too rushed in my opinion. But good overall. Okay, next up from Oni Press, we have Ballad of Sang. So pretty cool. This guy, this main character here, his name is Sang, and he's a mute. Can't talk. He could, you know, write, I guess, more at an elementary type of a level, but he was basically left for dead. This lady came in, saved him. She's nursing him back to health. You have, this is kind of like a Warriors type of feel to it. The main hitman, the main boss, who Sang basically cut off his arm. He put a bounty on Sang's head for the various gangs around town to go kill him for, like, I think it was some like $50,000, something of that nature. So you have the first gang going after Sang in the first real battle. So yeah, very, very cool stuff. Enjoy the artwork, man. Great art to go along with like this high energy type of action storytelling here. So yeah, the Ballad of Sang. Alright, next up from Vertigo, which was like a subdivision of DC, Deathbed. So this is all focused around this main character whose name is, what is it, like June? I think Luna. And, you know, he's a little bit older now, and he's kind of retelling his past life, you know, his earlier years. So come to find out, you know, around the 60s, 70s, there's a lot of drugs going on, and, you know, somehow he kind of created like this little cult following. Most of it was based on drugs and sex, right? Come to find out, fast forward, this cult somehow started to, and I guess this is a stone, so it's okay to show his twigs and berries in that one, but this cult became a cult for cannibalism along the way. You know, they kind of changed their values, even though they still worshipped Luna, they kind of changed their values along the way. So yeah, so they capture Luna, and they're looking to eat the previous leader at this point in time of the previous cult. So yeah, pretty good action, pretty good, you know, messed up type of humor. And again, this is really for adults, not for children at all. There's a lot of sex involved. So yeah, Deathbed. Alright, a couple more from IDW. We have the Spider King. So pretty cool. You know, this is a mix of Vikings and aliens. You know, back in the Viking days, or I guess maybe their peak days back then. Pretty cool stuff. You have, you know, most of the village has been slaughtered. You have a few of the refugees kind of banded together. They found the alien technology. They found one of the alien hunters, and they're going after what they know now is the Spider King. And he's kind of like an alien who kind of spreads and like invades other cultures. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. If you enjoy aliens and maybe Vikings, this is like a cool genre blend here, the Spider King. Okay, last up from IDW, and a quick shout out to Pope Cerebus. This was a recommendation. I missed it on when it first came out, but I went back and picked up issue number 1. I have not read through issue number 2, so I have not read through this issue number 3 yet. But man, excellent stuff. You know, I'm surprised I passed it up to begin with, but man, so you have kind of like a medieval times. You have magic, and even though I guess the Merlin, or I guess the main bad guy that I read through in issue 1 so far, He says there is not magic, but I mean, it seems like clearly there is. This all centers around this little slave boy who this evil magic guy purchased. And, you know, there has to be some sort of diabolical plan going on. You know, he must have some sort of like good potential for magic use in the future, or something of that nature. But yeah, love the artwork that goes along with the story, in my opinion. So love the Lord of the Rings type of theme. So yeah, Highest House. Guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.